Okay, like it or not, women are sizing you up as quickly as possible to determine whether or not you're worth their time, which, listen, is understandable because it goes both ways. And I think though that with the older age bracket that most of us are in on this channel, it isn't so much about women looking for a good option to start a family with and trusting that you'll be around and be a good father and stick around to raise the kids, but more as a protector and as a complementing factor in her life. Obviously, she still wants security and to be able to trust you, but she's also judging you on how you might fit into her life and how she might fit into yours. The simple fact is, women and men have a lot more options today than ever, so you can't get mad at women or blame them because technology is giving them more to look at. That's really not fair. What you should be doing is working on yourself and doing everything you can to get noticed and spark that initial attraction and interest. Because the whole premise around this video is to make it as easy as possible for you to approach women and for them to be receptive to you. It's not about putting on a costume or being shallow or fake. It's about you helping other people to know what you're all about before you even say a word, at least initially. We're talking about the initial impressions here and those first few moments. So it doesn't matter yet that you volunteer at the local shelter or that you foster puppies. She doesn't know that yet. She only knows that visual narrative that you are 100% in control of. So let's first talk about your overall style, because you've got to at least get past that, like, that guy looks good stage, right? A poor choice in clothes conveys a lot about you, right? It conveys that you don't make an effort, that you don't care about yourself, that you don't make a lot of money, that you don't have any sense of style. It's also a little window into the rest of your life. Like, if he doesn't care to put effort into how he's dressed, what type of effort does he put into himself and the rest of his life? But say you go one step up and dress average and look like everybody else, you're still not making an impact. I mean, you might not be repelling women by dressing average, but you're also not getting them to stop and take notice. And on the flip side, if you're well dressed, and I don't even mean wearing a fancy suit, right? Because you can wear a suit and still look like a slob, but I mean, you know what goes together. You understand your body type and what looks good on you. You watch my video on color theory and you understand what colors and patterns look best on your skin tone. Presenting yourself in this manner allows women to take one look and instantly realize that you're someone who gets it and someone who's different. And I've talked about this before in a bunch of different videos, that the style bar is set so incredibly low right now that if you walk in looking like hot shit, you're allowing other people to size you up in those first few initial seconds and figure out really quickly that you're someone who's bringing something valuable to the table. And yes, I'm talking about a lot more than just your wallet. Okay, now let's talk about your mannerisms. If you got past the initial attraction with your style, now she's watching you and trying to figure out your status in society. What's your relevance or your importance in the group of people that you might be with? Now, even if it's a perceived status, it's still an indicator for her. How are your social skills? Do you look comfortable talking to people? Are you making eye contact with the person that you're speaking to? Do you look nervous or shifty? Are you hanging out with other women? Because that's a whole nother thing that she will definitely be paying attention to. So let's talk about that for a second. It's kind of all about social proof. So overall, she's trying to determine how good of an option you might be. And part of that is, if other women want to be around you, that's social proof that you're a good option, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be hanging out with other women. So when other women see this, they'll try to figure out if you're actually like with one of them or if you're all just sort of friends. Women want to know that other women want to be around you. And it might not be so much that they want something that they can't have, that could be part of it, but it's more about wondering what he brings to the table and who is this guy that makes other women want to be around him. Make sense? Now, I've got a lot more coming up in this video, and I'm also going to share with you kind of what I'm confronting right now personally. But first, I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, Tish Hanley Skincare for Men. Because if you think about it, if your face looks old and crusty, that's going to hurt the overall initial impression that you're trying to make. And I'm excited to have Tish Hanley on board today because they've helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. And honestly, in my opinion, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. And now I recommend starting out with their level 1 system that comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of all the dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin cells, and a morning moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should really always protect your skin from the sun, and a nighttime moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night when you're sleeping. And I think my favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every single box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin super easy. Now, truth be told, I've been using these products for I think 5 years now. Basically, from the first day these guys launched, I've been a paying customer. And it might sound a little weird, but I look forward to my skincare routine because I know I'm doing something for myself to help me look my best. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits like 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel anytime, and free US shipping and low-cost shipping to most other countries. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring this video on this channel, they're giving my viewers a great deal. Click that link in the first description, and not only will you get Tiege Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. You're not too old to start this. Okay, next let's get into communication and your engagement. Overly confident actions are a turnoff. Because face it, if you're confident and secure in yourself, it shows. You don't have to tell people or project that you're confident, right? Because if you do, you're not. It just comes off as trying too hard and you'll kind of look like a douche. Especially if you have to brag about the things that you have. So if you mention that you have a Porsche in the first 5 minutes of meeting someone, it's pretty clear that you're insecure and trying to impress them with your things instead of yourself. So I suggest a different approach. And also, people can tell when they're being sold to, and people can generally tell when you're being genuine and when you're not. And if she can't tell immediately, she's trying to figure out if you're being genuine or if you're not. And during that time, she's guarded. Like, is this guy using lines on me? And what does he want? And why is he talking so much? And why does he keep pressing? Even if she might be attracted to you physically at first, she doesn't want to feel like she's being forced into anything, right? She wants to feel safe, and she wants to feel like she still has some control over the situation. And if it feels forced, she will push back. And also, let me just say, it is not about cheesy pickup lines. I hate that stuff, right? It's like you have to memorize a bullshit script and then open with this line. And if she says this, you have to say that. But if she says this, you have to pivot and say the other thing. But listen, I do understand, and I can appreciate the need to have a few good comments ready to go in your back pocket. But you still have to engage and talk and be engaging and also be yourself when you're speaking to women for the first time. But some of the pickup community stuff takes it way too far, at least from what I've seen. Just my opinion. Because if you're being fake, she'll figure it out, especially older, smarter, more mature women. Okay, once you do engage in conversation, make sure that you have interesting things to talk about. How interesting are you? How interesting is your life? How interesting are your hobbies and activities? And I've talked about this a bunch before in other videos, and the simplified version of how to be more interesting is to do more interesting things. And look, I get it. A lot of you guys know about my recent breakup, and most of what I do right now revolves around work. I work just about every single day, and I put in very long hours. However, if I continued that pattern of working all day and staying home for the next 8 to 12 months, how interesting would I be? What would I be able to tell someone about my life that would be interesting enough for them to want to be invited into it? Like, yeah, I'm just a super busy guy and I work all day every day and that's about it. What woman would want to be a part of your life if that's all there was? The flip side here is that, yeah, I put in super long hours and I work hard, but I also play hard. I go XYZ on the weekends and I do ABC twice a week, and I'm also trying to get into EFG because it looks really fun. You see the difference? You don't have to be a rock climber or parachute all the time, but you should have some hobbies and activities that get you out of the house. And I don't say this to make you feel bad, but if you're not happy in your life, or you're embarrassed to talk about the life you're living, and you can't seem to attract women, you can't get mad at them for not wanting to be a part of your life. My advice, spice things up. Trust me, my friends, and this goes both ways, but you have to be in a place in your life where you're happy and content first. Then you're ready to add somebody else in. So the short answer here is to get your life together and find some purpose. Being a man who's following and pursuing his purpose is a lot more attractive than ever before. and it can separate you from every other guy who's just muddling through life with no direction, chasing women and wasting everybody's time. And look, part of the reason I'm making this video today is that I'm confronting this personally right now. Like a lot of you guys know, I just got out of a long-term relationship and I'm probably not ready for another relationship right away. In fact, that would be a mistake. I mean, I still go out with my friends and I still engage with strangers and make new friends all the time, but I'm not in a place to just sort of jump back into something. I mean, it's nice and it hits all the feel-good muscles to be in a relationship, especially when it's brand new, but the awareness and the self-control that I have about how I feel at this moment and not being ready is valuable, at least for me. And listen, really quick before you go, if you made it this far in the video, please do me a favor and hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And also, feel free to let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section and let me know if you want me to talk more about this in the future. And with that, my friends, thank you very much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you in the next one.